Pappy is gone. Pappy Jeph is gone.
Papa Jeph Hitch.
So to do this pretty quickly, because we've covered this in the news channel, here's your TLDR. There was a showcase of Overwatch 2 content a decent few months ago. At that, there was Jeff's Corner Pizza. It's now just called Corner Pizza. Why is this? It's because it's no longer Jeff's. There you go. Jeph Kaplan thing is gone. Now, a lot of people are basically saying, Jeph left. There was no friggin' explanation. We don't know why any of this is happening. Are we to read into this and think that Jeph did bad things and that is why he is gone? The answer to that is, we've got no fucking idea. And it's probably not helpful to speculate. So, yes, there you go. There was other references to Jeph in Overwatch, right? Coffee cup with the name on it. Also, the Green Hills of Stranglethorn from World of Warcraft is there. We're unsure if those have already been removed or are planned to be removed or will just be left alone. That's basically your situation. He's been cut out. Now, is this because it turned out Jeph was doing untoward things in the workplace? We have no idea. It's not good to speculate there. There's definitely a void of information. I would say, though, there was another senior person, I believe, in a production role who left the Overwatch team at the same time that he did.
Julie Humphreys.
And a little bit of me there was thinking, oh, is that a bit like how, Ben Brode leaves and a few of his people leave and, oh, look, Second Dinner appears and, oh, look, they get $30 million. I think it was 30 mil investment that they got. So, you guys know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So, it could be really bad and very much likely, it's probably just a company-wide policy about references to staff.
Yeah.
Because even from their case, maybe it's like, well, maybe he did do something bad and we don't know about it. Or it's just the sort of thing where, they just don't want that to be what they do anymore. And in fairness, I'm not the biggest fan of references anyway, because they generally break me out of the game. Less so in something like Overwatch, more so in a Warcraft, but that is what it is. Now, there is the funny thing, because once upon a time, Jeph was Mr. Tiggle. Tiggle Biddies. That's a joke. Can really put it together, you might realize that if you swap around big old biddies, you get big old titties. And that was what Jeph Kaplan's old screen name was. Including when he was like, on World of Warcraft. And it is really funny because the Tiggle character, right? Tiggle Jeph does bring you back to this fucking epic post, which, you know what, man, you could see, I don't know, like imagine Scripe posting this or, Roger Brown or Max or something when they really did like an encounter. That's kind of like what Jeph did. But yes, whoever came up with this sheer fisting of an encounter can go fuck themselves. I don't know why, but just sheer fisting of an encounter, I like it. It's so great because... Yes. A, implement an encounter that wasn't designed by a retarded chimp chained to a cubicle. B, get a quality assurance department. C, actually beta test the fucking thing. D, patch it live. And please, for God's sake, do it in the order I laid out for you. Don't worry, I won't charge you a consulting fee in that one. You're like, oh man. Yep. That was young Jeph in his late 20s, certainly going off on the developers of EQ. And hey, he still got hired by Blizzard. Turned out, man had a keen eye for design in things like MMOs, and he gets in the team. And we sort of bring this up because, number one, it's just fucking funny.
That's great.
Number two, the likes of Alex Afrasabi, he was also an EverQuest person. Obviously, we know what's happened with him.
Yeah.
There were some people saying that because, if you Google Jeph Kaplan, you find Tiggle, you Google Tiggle, you get this post, that maybe that's the sort of thing, and they don't want... because obviously that's me quoting him, but, certain words there that Blizzard obviously would absolutely not stand by today, right? Maybe they don't want that sort of relation. I would say, though, I don't really think so. I think it's probably just a company-wide policy, and this is something they're all aware of, but I think he's just going off on some devs being salty in the forums. That's very, very different to actually taking bad actions against other people. So I think this is the sort of thing even Blizzard themselves would say, well, maybe that's not the most charitable phrasing, but guess what? That was 20 years in the past. Not relevant. Let's move on. Now, look, if somebody did something very inappropriate 20 years in the past, that still is relevant, but if it was just some words in the past, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, there's only one small thing which I think is maybe maybe vaguely could maybe be argued that I don't think anyone else has brought up is that Tiggle and Forrest strawberry ice cream. That was obviously, those two names combined. You go, well, what were they doing together? Obviously they were,
What?
that Tiggle and Forrest strawberry ice cream is a reference to Tiggle and Fuhrer.
Oh wait, is that in?
That's in World of Warcraft. Yeah. The strawberry ice cream it has the screen name of Alex Abersabi and Jeph Kaplan together.
That did not even twig onto me. Okay,
Yeah.
well in that case, it's like, yeah, I suppose one of Jeff's friends ends up being a serial sex pest.
Yep. So they're like maybe, but slightly on that. And I think this is very relevant at least this week, because when I was going through some of this stuff, I also saw some of the stuff that Alex had said, and he was basically along the same lines for a different guild, saying similar things about EverQuest, but specifically calling out John Smedley,
Yes, that was
who
funny.
was the I can't remember what he was at the time, but he was heavily involved in EverQuest, was president of Sony Online Entertainment and Daybreak, and now is the general manager of Amazon San Diego. So he's a general manager for the studio that's making New World. So time is a flat circle, the world is smaller than you think it is, etc., etc., etc. All things that happened will happen again.
Yep,
So
that's it.
Yep.
And I mean, we copy this into the doc, of course, with Jesse McCree being removed. So that's the situation with Kaplan. Basically, I would say there's some interesting things to talk about here, but basically, don't read into it. It's probably just a broad policy position from Blizzard, and I think if there was something to know there newsworthy, we probably would know about it.
Yep.
Next up, then, we literally just talked about this today
Yeah.
on the channel, so I'm going to just do this really quick. Basically, Activision Blizzard has an $18 million settlement with the equal employment...
Equal Employment and Opportunities Commission.
Yes, that's it. The EEOC. Of course, 18 million is shagall. It is shagall for a company like ActiBliz. Big Bobby Kotick, 150 mil total sort of net compensation this year, and you include stock options and all that, where, so 18 mil doesn't feel like that much. Also, if you agree to this, then basically it marks off, as Scarlett points out here, if you agree to this, and you're one of the victims with the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, then don't agree to this, because if you do, it will consider your claim like resolved. So don't. It's 18 million for all employees since September 1st, 2016. It is pennies, and obviously many of the complaints are historical. They are before 2016. So that's basically that. The other thing, which I think we also covered in that video about the news that we don't... Oh, well, there you go. Well, there's our initial coverage. Suffice to say, there is more coverage coming soon. The other thing then is, of course, Bungie ended their forced arbitration clauses. That obviously is one of the things that the A Better ABK employment advocacy group is pushing for. So it's quite funny that, Bungie have done that and ActiBliz haven't.
Yep.
So makes it look bad for them, to be sure.